Champ and Contender podcast.
This in here is like a left wing's nightmare, isn't it? Yeah. Nails, bells.
100%.
He could go on GB News. He couldn't go anywhere else.
Right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, go for it. Hello, and welcome to the Champ and Contender podcast. My name is Joseph J. Jones.
My name is Fabian Collymore.
I'm a singer-songwriter.
And I'm an ex-athlete for Great Britain.
And we interview the champs and the contenders of this world from all different forms of life. We interview musicians, we interview athletes, boxers, kickboxers, and comedians. And we've got one of the best in the game sitting right in front of us. he might have picked you up once or twice, none other than Crazy Ginger Cabbie. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for the invite. Thanks for having me on. I'm honoured. I see your podcast with Alex Heyman, and he was talking about the time when he was on stage with me.
Yeah,
I was hosting at a gaff in Bermondsey, so Millwall country. As you know, he's West Ham.
Yeah.
And I was like, he's got that T-shirt. I mean, he's not the biggest fella anyway. Why is he wearing a super medium T-shirt? Yeah, so I ribbed him on stage for a bit, but yeah, and I watched it and I thought, yeah, well done, I'll have some of it. And you got in touch.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, I'll have some of it.
Nice. No, we appreciate it, mate. Like I've been watching you since, days at COVID. Do you know?
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like first of all, when I saw you, I was like, who's this thing? And I checked it all out. It's funny how you're just drawn to people, and you were one of them. And I think it was just because it was like a natural environment, and probably the beard and whatever, in the cabin there. Yeah. But it just works so well. But, tell us, how did that all start for you? Why did you first decide to put the camera in the cab and start filming yourself?
Probably like a whole host of things. I mean, I started really just doing silly videos, just taking the mickey out of sort of what I was doing during the day, but always like in the cab. I wasn't one of them that walks down the road and it was always just in the cab. And a couple of pals of mine said to me, why don't you do something like the life of a cab driver? Like sort of like driving along, you see things going on, like the Ned, for example, and all that stuff. So I was sort of like I was videoing sort of the general public while sitting on a rank sort of thing on the side of the road with the engine off, I must say.
Yes.
Yeah, I weren't idling or anything like that. And like doing voiceovers of what they would be talking about in a general conversation. Then it sort of evolved from there. And then I don't know, I'd done a video on International Women's Day.
Right.
Where it just basically took the mickey out of International Women's Day. Basically, they're asking for like sort of these equal rights, you've got to respect them and all that. And then at the end of the night, like the people that we know, like from where we live, it's like they're all on the shovel, all getting back to their antics and whatever. So I was just like mocking the whole day really, and then I got like quite a few followers from that. Like it went from like 200 followers up to like 2,000. Like, no,
yeah.
And then sort of that was that, and then a pal of mine, Josh James. Do you know Josh James, the comedian? Yeah. He got in touch with me. He's blown up over the last couple of years. He does a lot of those skits with like football fans and taking the mickey out of him. He's a very funny man. Yeah. And he got in touch. He said, you ever thought about doing some stand-up comedy? And I was like, absolutely not. Yourself, no chance. Couldn't do it. And he went, if you could like get your comedy from your videos and do it on stage, like your character, like he said, you'll smash it. So I thought, let's try and have a go.
Wow.
Done a first open mic night in front of about 20 people in Southend at the Alex. They was doing like open mic nights. That went cool. And then I done one again just before my son was born in 2020 in January. Died on my ass.
Really?
Yeah, it was in Old Street. It's like the Liberal Left Blue Air Brigade.
Yeah. Wow.
Women. And I was doing my set was on International Women's Day. So my little 1 minute video, I was trying to turn it into like a 5 minute set. Yeah. And all I was doing, I was just taking the piss out of women. And they were just sitting there like that. I'm like, and then I was like panicking. I was like, yeah, I'm going to, I started apologising for what I was saying.
Really?
And I went, right, before I get a glass thrown in my face, I'm just going to walk off. Walked off, and then Josh went to me, so how do you think you've done? I think I've done all right. No, and sort of that was it. My son was born, and then as we know, 2020, what happened there in March, we don't have to give it a name.
Yeah.
And then obviously a lot more people were indoors, not moving about. I still had a bit of work to do, so I was still, and like we know how the algorithms work and all that, and obviously when you're close to people and you go into people's feeds and whatever, and you come up on their phones. And I was just doing videos, taking the mickey out of people, like geezers signing up to like Peloton and taking dogs for walks, like your French bulldog you got in there, the size of a fucking rhinoceros. And just taking the piss out of that. And then I got quite a few followers following me. Then it went up to like nearly 80,000 within like a year.
So like not even a thought in the past crossed your mind of being a comedian?
No.
Wow.
No, I've always been told that I'm a funny sort of off the cuff down a pub.
Yeah.
Something happens, I'll say something like, oh yeah, I'm quick off the mark. So my comedy nights, we'll get into it, but my comedy nights, I at the minute just do like the MC and the comparing and basically all my stuff is ad lib. So I might have things in my mind where what's happening at the minute, like that bird Bonnie Blue.
Yeah.
Don't want to give her airtime, but it is what it is. It's like our people that we see that stuff, and I'll just take the mickey out of that, and then I talk to the crowd. But on my nights, I get proper comedians to come in and do their sets and stuff, and they're pucker nights. You should definitely try and come to one.
Oh mate, I've heard it. It scares the out of me, like almost sitting in a crowd like that. When I watch you ripping people, I think like immediately, like today I've had my hair cut and I think I look like some sort of arty,
arty farty, yeah.
And I ain't that at all by any means of the imagination. Left the greys.
I'll have a French crop, please, mate, from 1995, and I'll have it.
Oh God,
I was worried coming in here today. I was thinking, what is he going to rip me about straight away?
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was thinking, oh my gosh, is my head too shiny?
Well, no, because the race card will come out probably. But we said it on like in coming in here when you were saying like producer, let's say like the white Dr. Dre over there, and then you said you was a runner. I would have gone like fucking no, really.
That's the thing, though, isn't it? Well, how did you like literally from doing all the cab stuff and whatnot?
Yep.
How did you first realise the socials were going up, and how big of a part did that play for you in becoming a comedian?
It's weird because you get the following, and again, I'll go back to Josh James, and he done a like a charity night for the Justin Edinburgh Foundation at the Backyard Comedy Club, and there was a few hundred people in there, like raising money, good charity. And I was with my pal, and he like, it was like, I had a few pals saying, "Oh, you could do this, like host a comedy night." And I'm thinking, and they're like, "Look, they're like 90,000 followers, like try and do something." And then Instagram, as we know, you don't really get paid unless you're doing brand stuff. Yeah. Brands don't really want to touch me because of probably the way I am. Right. I'm not the modern day sort of. I'm not Chunks.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I don't speak to like the youth of today that follows the social media side of stuff. Is it really? Do we want to listen to a foul-mouthed black cab driver? Some people do. Like, I've got a platform for it, and I've got like nearly across all platforms, like 300,000 followers. Yeah. So I'm doing something right. But yeah, getting back to that, I thought, do you know what? Let me contact the club, and I said, look, I want to put on a comedy night, and I said, like, how do I go back? Because I never done it. I wanted to do it on my own, and I said, like, and he went, look, you can rent out the venue, you get the acts and whatever, and then we'll go from there. So I contacted Josh, and I said, like, you got any contacts that I could use? And I think on my first night, I used about 7 people, like different acts, like to fill in the gaps. Yeah. So I was on stage for literally like 5-10 minutes at a time.
Right.
Because it's daunting, like being and I sold like my first comedy night. I put tickets up. 300 tickets sold out in 3 or 4 days.
Wow,
that's pretty good.
Yeah, I was like, gee, I've definitely got to pick my pants up here. But yeah, and that's it. Like, so being in the cab, it's like doing the comedy nights as well. It's enabled me not to have to be in the cab like 6 days a week. I go in the cab like 4 days a week, sometimes 5. Like the busy periods, Christmas and that is obviously the cab is the bread and butter, but doing the comedy stuff, I need to probably make a point now of actually trying to do it more instead of just doing the MC stuff and like hosting my own nights. I've got to go to places unknown where people might not know me, and do my own stuff. But the comedians that when I talk to them about it, they say you got to want to do it.
Do you see? I mean, there's such a raise of online comedians. Like you're talking about Alex Heyman, Josh James, I mean, yourself. Like, I think it's only a matter of time before you guys are on the telly or doing a show together, because it crossed over like that. Would you like to do that? Or
yeah, again, TV isn't really. The way my mouth is, let's have it right, is not suited for not even Channel 4, Channel 5.
But what about a sketch show or something?
But sketch shows, yeah, possibly. But it's probably more streaming stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, like on your YouTube, basically a YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's the new TV anyway.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, look at like the well-known actors around the planet. They're not really doing like major film anymore. They're doing like your Amazon Primes. They're doing your Netflix stuff, and you know what I mean. So that's maybe the way to go forward. But yeah, sketch stuff. There's definitely some comedians out there that you definitely could put something together. But yet again, everything is money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's willing to get sort of 4 or 5 of you together, have an idea, put something together. You can't just have one putting in 10 grand into something for a bit of editing and filming and all that stuff, because like people aren't going to do it for free, and they shouldn't.
Do you ever get worried about getting cancelled because of the?
Do you know what I got? So I got 2 Instagram accounts. I don't know if you've seen.
Right.
So one of them's got 190,000 followers.
Yeah.
And the other one's got 50,000. A couple of years ago, I was doing a Christmas lights tour, and what happened? Something got shared on someone else's story, and I was then tagged into that story.
Okay.
And I won't say who the person was, but he sort of half mugged off the black cab trade during COVID, and he claims to come from like a working class background. And I thought it was quite cheeky of him. And then someone said, "Oh, what do you think about this?" And I said, he's not my people. But the person that had put the post up had said, "Oh, look at this prick," sort of thing. So I've reposted it, but then with my tag of what I've said, "No, it's not my people." Instagram have seen that, because I before that I've got like 10, 12 violations against my account because of the swearing and stuff. But sometimes it's been taken out of context. So when you look at some of the violations, it's like the algorithm hasn't read how it's meant.
But is it a bot? It's a bot probably checking through it.
Absolutely, yeah. It's the trigger words and all that stuff. But I also think that people actually do go out their way to grass people up, to report stuff.
Yeah. It's like work, isn't it?
Mate, so I reposted that. I've turned up at this geezer's house, him and his wife. They've come over from Colombia to visit their family. So they're like, the geezer's from England, married a Colombian, but they live out in Colombia. Anyway, dropping something off, eh? So he came empty-handed in the cab, I will say. And I've messaged him. I said, "I'm outside," and then I'm looking at my phone, and as you do, go on your socials, went onto my Instagram, just went black.
Wow.
What was that? And it said like sign in. So I went to sign in, and I had no account. I got an email saying your account's been deactivated. Wow. So I had to, there and then I created another account. They were coming out, but on the email it said to like try and sign in again. So I signed in again, and it allowed me to go into my profile, but then it wouldn't show how many posts I've done, followers I had, or anything like that. And at that time, I think I had about 95,000 followers.
Wow.
And I was thinking, like, I've got a show to sell out. Like, what do I do? Because that's how you hit people. Like you're selling your tickets. It's all social media. Yeah. And even those algorithms are mental. Like you put a post up of like taking a picture of like that Jameson sign up there, you'll get 55,000 views. You got a show coming up in 5 weeks' time, you'll get 5,000 views. Because the algorithms don't want to send you away from their platforms. Do you know what I mean? Right. Which I think's a slag anyway. But anyway, so I was panicking. I was like, I am like one swear word away from losing it all. So I have to tone it down. So I created another account. I just said, look, and I was teeing people up anyway and just saying, look, I'm probably close to losing it. So then my more extreme videos where there's a lot of swearing, I mean, I swear a lot anyway, but a lot of hard swearing, I will say, look, go to my other page. So the hard stuff I would send there.
Wow.
And the stuff that's sort of like a bit of banter and all that, but the page is actually cleaned up now, so the violations are only down to 3.
Wow. Yeah. It's mad because we're obviously new to like putting content up and things like that, and like went on TikTok the other day.
I got banned on TikTok.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't even know why one of our videos was like, you've gone against, you know, you violated.
Yeah,
or
the
whatever.
guidelines and all that.
Yeah, the guidelines. And it was just me telling a story, like, about Millwall, I think.
Yeah.
And I think because I used the word kill,
Or Millwall.
I said Don. Oh, yeah.
They didn't like it.
Well, no, it was a story about Don Hutchinson trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Because there was a story about me as a ball boy and all that, and Don Hutchinson grabbed me. And I think because I said Don Hutchinson tried to kill me,
Right.
they've gone, shut down, bang. And I was like, what have I done? Because everything you've worked for, like we say, like 95,000 followers or whatever, that's your bread and butter, so to speak, in getting people to your gigs.
Yep.
All the effort you've put into that, and all of a sudden they go, no, see you later.
Yeah.
I mean, who don't swear?
Like it's
The robots.
Yeah.
But for people like us, like your working class, it is part of your vocabulary. Some people don't like it. All right, shit happens. It's not for you.
Yeah.
Like we could have a general conversation or a generic conversation, and it'd just be like you throw the odd in there. No one here is getting offended by it. Like, oh, it just sounds a bit crass. It's real life. But listen, some people don't mind it. Some people frown upon it. But you can't please everyone. Like, so my comedy is for some people, but it's not for others. That's cool. It's like, so when people ask me, who do you like as a comedian? Obviously, Mickey Flanagan.
Yeah.
Legend. Lee Evans, when we were growing up, Lee Evans, like with the funny faces and all that. Lee Hurst, who, by the way, he owns the Backyard Comedy Club that I perform at. And I'm now sort of friends with him, and he comes and does my comedy nights as well.
Wow. Quality.
So watching They Think It's All Over, remember with Nick Hancock and...
Oh, man. I remember it, yeah.
And Rory McGrath as well, and Lee Hurst was on there. And to now sort of have him in my phone book.
That's crazy,
and
isn't it?
talk to him on the phone for like an hour because he talk that man.
Yeah.
But it's just listening to him and these stories about like the stand-up circuit and how it's changed, evolved, and all that is insane.
But we feel a bit like that with you sitting here, mate.
Shut up.
No, I know. It's great though, isn't it? Because it's the new TV, not to blow smoke up your and all that. But it's like we was like, right, crazy Ginger Cabbie, let's go for it, man. Like we appreciate what you do. Like it's like quality.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's do you know what? I fucking hate it when people do it.
I lowered the invoice a bit there, didn't I? Should have upped it a bit. My wife said, make sure the invoice is high.
I'll try and get a percentage off.
Jesus Christ. No, thank you.
No.
People ask me like when you take pictures or whatever, or people say, oh, like, hello, does it get on your nerves? Not at all.
No.
Because it annoys me wife because she's like, you've got to not play up to it, but she says like, you got to embrace it. So when people come up to you and talk to her, talk to them.
Yeah.
Because it's like you might get people come up to you and like you with your family and you feel like it's weird, but she'll say, oh, you love it. I love it because I've had messages throughout the past couple of years where people have been close to killing themselves.
Really?
But they've watched my stuff and they've sent me scrolls of like their life over the past like 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
The struggles that they've had, people who lost marriages, lost the rights to see their kids and how they're back in their kids' lives. Just watching your content has made me realise, you know what? Life, it is what it is, like without trying to sound like that fat Australian gravy guts.
But you don't realise what you do for people sometimes, do you?
No.
Like, it's...
I think everyone's like that though. Everyone's got that one person in their life or specific people that when they sort of listen to, they'll take notice of it. It's like you could have a really down day and people will be calling you just for how are you, and you won't talk to them, but then there's that one person in your phone book, when they do bell you, you'll answer the phone.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so if I can be that person to at least one person, then I'm happy days.
It must be rewarding.
Oh yeah, it definitely is. Yeah. Well, it's nice, but then I have a bit. So I then go into character, and like people say, I love you, and I'm like, yeah, don't be weird. But they love that. They're like, oh, that's great. And then I'll say, look, if you love me that much, buy a ticket to me show.
Yeah.
They come to and then people do. They're like, I've had people come down from Doncaster, Newcastle, Ireland. Well, one geezer flew in from South Africa with his son.
What?
Yeah, to a show. Yeah, brilliant.
It is rewarding though, because like, say, even just, I remember I got stopped once in London, like once, and like I'm a singer and sort of had mild success, like nothing major, and I was at a kebab shop.
As you do,
like end of a night, and it was my missus was with me, and like my best mate, he was with me as well, and I was, and then all of a sudden I had 2 New Zealand guys, and actually one South African woman come up to me and said, "Oh, you Joseph G. Jones?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, yeah, eating me kebab. It's like, "Oh, could we get a picture?" I was like, "What?" I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Yeah,
that's
all burger
unbelievable,
sauce
isn't it?
around."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's a feeling of like, I understand totally, like, because these people make you.
Yeah, very much so.
And you've got to appreciate that.
Yeah.
And I think everyone we have in this room always feels like feet on the ground. You know, very much feet on the ground, real people.
They're not
like,
stuck up their own arse.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, why would you diss someone who's coming up to you to tell you how much they love what you give to the world?
Yeah,
you know, not to be cheesy, but
no, it's true. No, that's why I don't like. I when people message me, I'll try to answer as many messages as I can, or even acknowledge it with like a heart or a thumbs up or anything like that.
Yeah,
it's just to let people know that I've got it and I appreciate you.
Yeah,
and I appreciate everyone that's like followed me, unfollowed me, followed me back again, because they happen.
Yeah.
Come to my shows, just everything. I really do appreciate it. Like even when I drive down the road, you'll have like scaffolders or lorry drivers or other cab drivers. John, and I'm like, wow. And they're like, but it's all banter. Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, like women are funny. Like they're nuts. Oh, John, my husband loves you. Or you get geezers like, all my missus does is lazy in bed and watches your videos.
Oh, really?
It was better than me being in the bed with it. Wife, innit? Jesus.
Talk to us about the black cab driving then. So how did you give your first lift for free?
Yeah. I remember it. It was I nearly crashed into a lamppost when I've done it.
Nerves?
So yeah, mate, coming down Bishopsgate, so Liverpool Street, getting into town. I was still in my suit and tie, so I was feeling like Billy Big here. And then this woman was at a bus stop and she put her hand out. I was thinking, here we go. So I pulled in. She went, off. She was waving the bus behind. I was like, oh yeah, she's at a bus. So as I pulled away, then I've seen like a group of people like put their hands out like that, and I think, oh, that's me. But then I've mounted the curb nearly at a lamppost to get back in. I'm like, I ain't gonna want to get in here. And they went, you're all right. I went, yeah. And they went, oh, can we go to so-and-so? It was St John Street near Smithfield Market, and got there like £8.50, £8.60 on the meter.
Yeah.
I went, oh yeah. I went, no, you're my first ever ride. Like it's on me. And they went, what? And I said, oh, it's tradition. Like you give your first ride for free, so I thank you very much. Put it into a charity. I said like Great Ormond Street or something, because that's another thing that we do. We anyone that gets in to the cab from like for example St Pancras Station, can we go to Great Ormond Street Hospital? And you're like, yeah, that's cool. You get there and you give it for nothing.
Okay. Is that continuous?
Yeah, so that's like an unwritten sort of rule amongst the cab trade. So if you go into Great Ormond Street,
that's good.
Some people take the piss.
Well, what in
the sense of like people will get in the cab. Listen, you know me. I tell it how it is. Woman gets in the cab with her young daughter. They didn't look like they'd just come out of a hospital or anything like that. I didn't pick them up outside the hospital. It was more or less like 3 or 4 roads away, and the mum's all loud. Oh, what a day! Oh, what a day! And I can hear it, and I've turned my microphone off, but the microphone's come back on. I'm like, it's a bit strange. And then like the daughters said, like, "Oh, you okay, mummy?" She's like, "Yeah, but what a day!" I'm like, "Oh, what a day at the hospital! Oh, it's such a long day." I'm like,
fake.
Right, here we go. Thinking. So I got involved. I went, oh, yeah, we've been up to today. She went, oh, we just come out of Great Ormond Street. Oh, it's just been such a long day. I said, oh, is the little girl? I said, your daughter okay? Oh, yeah, no, we're just here visiting, like just dropping off some bits. Oh, no, right, okay. Got to the train station. Let's call it a tenner. And she gets out. Right, thanks very much for that. I was like, are you paying cash or card? Oh, yes, no, yeah, of course. Oh, I thought it was okay. Can I pay card?
Wow.
And I didn't want to get into the conversation of like, why would you assume that it's going to be free? But she knew. But some people, and this isn't everyone, of course, but there are some houses out there that know this rule, like this unwritten rule that we've got in the trade. We don't bleat on about it. It's just that whoever's in the cab, when you drop them off, as on us. We won't broadcast it. Oh, look at me, I'm a hero.
Yeah.
But it's like you'll get people out there that'll be like, hey, can I go to Great Ormond Street Hospital, please? And you're like, yeah. And then like you'll drop them off. They're not with a kid, but you drop them off, and then you drive off, and then they've walked off in the opposite direction. You smarmy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you've got to be very careful.
So there's people out there like that.
Yeah, of course there are. Yeah.
Billy Bob. Mate.
Yeah.
Like it.
Karma will get them, though.
Yeah.
Don't worry about that.
100%.
Can we go on a bit of a roll with some Cabbie questions, if that's all right?
Crack away.
So I've always
No.
Okay.
Go on.
What's the worst drunk you've ever had in your cab?
Worst drunk I've ever had in my cab. Right, as a geezer, I've said it on done it on a podcast before. Liam Tufts.
Right.
Seen Liam Tufts, yeah?
Yeah.
Done it on his podcast. I remember some geezer piped up. Yeah, it never happened. It 100% it did. On my children's lives, it did.
Yeah.
So gone to Marylebone Station. It's a Friday night, and I just sort of got out. So let's say I'm about a year in, probably 6 months even. Quite a well-spoken individual. Marylebone Station wants to go to like Enfield, Church Street in Enfield. Hi, can we go to Church Street in Enfield? Yeah, of course you can. So absolutely. How much is it going to be? I went about 60 quid. Okay, that's fine. So I'm thinking in my head, well-spoken, quite flamboyant. I'm thinking there's going to be no ag. Gets well dressed, like briefcase. Friday night, payday. Everyone's king for a day, so everyone's a bit flash with their cash. Yeah. So, all right, yeah, cool. Driving up, get to like Winchmore Hill, and it's about 40 quid on the meter. He just leans at the perspex. He went, "You need to pull over." Why? What's the matter? Oh my God, it's £40. I haven't got £40. I went, excuse me? He went, I haven't got £40 to pay for this taxi. And anyway, you need to pull over because I'm going to piss in the back of your cab. You're not going to do that. So anyway, pull over into, I think it's like a Marks and Sparks car park. It's in the car park near Southgate Station. Door flings open. I'm not paying this. I went, just go to the toilet, we'll work it out. So door goes open. Left his briefcase in the back. He's having a whiz. It's like, sounds like Niagara Falls. It's like, I was thinking he's held this in for a while. And he's basically he's finished, leaned in the cab, got his briefcase, went to have it on his toes. And you're told, like, use your brain a bit, just let it go. And I'm thinking, no, I'm not having it. Like, all right, he could have a chiv on him, he could have anything on him. Do you know what I mean? So I've got out and I'm like, man, what are you doing? So I'm holding him like that. He's a little bit boozed and he went, don't touch me. I went, no. I went, listen, you've just got out of a cab that you're supposed to pay for. You're not understanding. I don't have to pay because I don't have £40. And I'm like, that's not the agreement. Like, are you that drunk? You're that f***ing stupid. You can't talk to me like this. I'm going to report you. I went, report me. He went, I've got no cash on me. I went, open your wallet. I went, and we'll take it from there. He opened his wallet. Lads, he didn't have a Tesco club card in there. Nothing. Wow. So I said, you cheeky I went, you've preyed on us, the black cab trade, to get you home because you f***ing lost everything. Wow. You've probably got no like battery on your phone to call where you would normally f***ing call. So you took the piss out of f***ing me. He's gone, well, I f***ing told you I can't pay it. I went, no, that's not what the f***ing agreement. Go back to Marylebone Station. Anyway, I'm half dragging him. He's trying to fight me off. I'm then trying to talk him down because he's drunk. He's resisting, but he's not. But he's still walking to the cab. Got him in the cab. I didn't lock him in the cab, by the way. It's just that when you move in, the cab is locked. Yeah. So I said, look, we'll get you to your destination. We'll just have an agreement. Well, I've not got any cash. I went to take card. Oh, yeah, but don't worry. You haven't got any f***ing cards, have you? I said, look, we'll get to an agreement. I'm not f***ing. He started punching the back of the cab, started kicking his feet up against the back of the cab. And I'm like, right, well, even though it's not my cab and I rent, I thought, it's my office. Do you know what I mean? If you break something, I've got to go home. Yeah. Anyway, driving to, we're literally 5 minutes away from his destination, and this mini roundabout, I see the old bill. Stopped it, middle, handbrakes on, got out, people bibbing. Copper's like, what's going on? I went, there's a geezer in the back of the cab that's refusing to pay the fare. They went, where's he going? I went, like, Church Street. They went, we'll follow you. So he followed me. He didn't know what I'd done, yet again, because he's on the f***ing floor, kicking the f***ing cab. Wow. He doesn't know what I've done. We get there, and he opens the door. He went, F*** you. Gets out the cab. The old bill gone round me. They parked literally 10 yards in front of me. Geezer, copper, 5'5", another copper, 7 foot. Little ones come up to me. The big ones gone, where you going? He went, you're going to pay the cab driver. Of course. He frog marched him into his gaff, to get his card to go back across the high street because he was in like flats, like posh flats above like above like these shops. He's frog marched him to there, and it was £60.20. These things you never forget. £60.20 on the meter. He come up to me and he went, "There you go. There's no problem, is there?" I thought, you little.
Wow.
Excuse my language because you want to monetize this. You know what I mean? But I thought, you cheeky mate.
Yeah.
So that happened, and like your adrenaline's running, and you're like, "What the do I do?" So I said to the coppers, I went to give the coppers a £5, and they got the cameras on. I went, "Here's a £5. You'd like to get yourself a cup of tea?" I said, "Share the cup of tea. It's only a £5." And they go, no, we can't. We're doing our job. I went, "No." I said, "Look, these are the things." I said, "It's like the working class again. Like, you don't have to do that. But the fact you have, just take a £5." I went, "It's a £5. Like, and I looked at their cameras and I went, "Look, just take the £5. Like, you're not putting me under distress or anything to say like, what are you going to do for us?"
Yeah.
I'm going off my own back. But yeah, that was that. And in the same night, I drove back into town, picked up a geezer from the Forge bar, sort of nightclub Forge in Cornhill. Wanted to go back to Old Home, like Dagenham sort of way.
Yeah.
And wants to pay. Well, he's even further beyond now. Yeah, again, payday. You're thinking payday. Get to sort of like Whitechapel. He's like wants to pay sort of card, cash, or whatever. But I thought, you know what? I've just had that. Going to pay me up front. I'll take it to a cash point. Gets to a cash point. Oh, he sent me card. Gets back in the cab. He starts playing on his phone. I'm like, "Mate, what are you doing?" He went, "Oh, like, I'll sort you out when we get there." I went, No. I went, like, "You paying or not?" He went, "No." I went, "Do you know what? Get out of the cab."
Yeah.
Wow.
On the same night, I was like, "Do you know what? Tonight's not my night."
Wow.
I've always hated Fridays. And today is Friday.
It must be tough. Today's Friday.
Winding
Do
myself
you
up.
know
Here.
what? I hate myself, so I've left the heater fan on throughout this whole interview.
No, that's all right. I've got athlete's foot now. Cause
I mean, for the sand, it's going to be throughout. I can get rid of it. Let me turn it off.
Is it?
It's fine. It's fine.
Sure.
Otherwise, we have to start all over again.
That's all right. The same gusto.
It's warm in here.
I thought, as you're telling me, I'm
You got
getting
any water?
well up. Yeah. Do you want a beer?
You got beer?
Yeah, of course. Oh, do you know what? I was just about to offer you one.
I'll have one.
I've got you. What do you want?
Go on, what do you got?
You've got
Pig's
Cruz
piss.
Campo.
Yeah.
Pig's piss.
Right. Madry, Cruz Campo.
I'll have a Cruz Campo.
Yeah.
Please.
Especially for you. Let me
Cheers,
open
mate.
it up.
Yeah,
And I'll
Red
have a
Bull.
Madry.
Got Franco jizz juice in it. Cheers, mate.
Cool. Franco.
Cruz Campo, listen, you're on camera, so if you want to sponsor it, do it.
Yeah. Do you
Cheers.
know what?
I like talking about that this evening,
I
innit?
know. I was like, what if we ever say something really and then we're just drinking their beer and we've put up the video,
Yeah.
you know, and all of a sudden they go, take it down. We don't want you promoting what we're doing.
That's true.
Yeah.
But that's the thing with the brand stuff. But all right, listen, I've worked with Red Bull.
Yeah.
I've done things for them for the Formula One stuff like a couple of years ago. That was good. Done stuff with like Rio Ferdinand's YouTube channel during the Euros when England played Denmark.
Right.
So people do want to work with me, but it's like it's probably when it sort of suits them. Do you know what I mean? But it's weird because you don't whore yourself out. Because I look at it that if people want to work with you, they'll sort of work with you.
Yeah.
They know you're there. They know you exist.
Yeah.
Do you find it's a constant sort of like steady roll in what you do?
What do you mean?
Like, as in, do you find the work comes in quite regularly through that sort of thing?
Nah.
Not regular enough.
No, not at all.
Right.
Nothing.
Okay.
But that's why you just got to. Sounds cliche, but you make your own luck.
Yeah.
When it comes to like the comedy stuff, I should get up off my arse and go to comedy clubs where there's 10 people there, 15 people there, and just do it for nothing, but just try and nail a bit of material and have my own material, and then I can headline my own nights instead of getting someone else in and pay them a couple of quid.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I can do it myself. I can do 20 minutes at the end of my own show.
Yeah.
So I do 10-minute intervals and stuff, and then at the end I'll be on stage for 20 minutes, and that's the crack. But because you can't rely on other people all the time,
No.
you won't get anywhere.
Yeah. It's
So
like,
then people start becoming bitter, and it's like, oh yeah, they bypass me because of this. And no, you got to put yourself into the environment, and then you'll, like, for example, when I started doing I wanted to do obviously hosting my own shows. Can't rely on some other to do it for me. I've got to go and do it myself.
Yeah.
Now I'm at that. How do I then progress on from there?
Yeah.
So
You see, when you do the shows, do you and you pick people out? Have you ever had anyone go back at you?
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
This person's good.
Man or woman, it don't matter. But I'll still go at them.
No, but has anyone ever got back at you really good, and you think, oh, I'm on my toes here?
I wouldn't say that like heckled me in the sense of like taking the piss.
Yeah.
But it's like if I'm talking to them, like there was a geezer that I know him, and he's a Irish fella, and
Quick.
oh yeah, massively quick. I said, look, how'd you get in here and all that? I said, what do you do for a job? And he was talking about like doing like driveways, for example, and the way he said it with the accent, it's all about the accent and the delivery.
Yeah.
He done it, and the whole crowd was laughing, and I was like, let him have his moment.
Yeah.
Don't try and go back at him. Like, let people have their moment. So if people do come at me with like some funny one-liners or whatever, let them have it.
Yeah.
So, and I think it's great because that's what I do to people. So it's like you don't know who you're going to get in the front row, and you just play on them.
I guess they're there to laugh, so you let them have the laugh, right?
I would say I'm sort of half winning already on my nights because people are paying me to come and watch me, so they want me to win.
Yeah.
So when you walk on stage, you've already got people like
In awe.
it. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're like, please just make me laugh.
Yeah.
And it's like even just saying, all right, John's, how are you? People are like, oh, fuck yeah, he just done that thing that he does on his videos.
I was well hoping you was going, all right, Johns. I was like,
Johns.
Yeah, it's a thing, isn't it? Like when you go and see someone, like even when you're sitting here now, you've never met us, but I said this to Alex Heyman, like we feel like we know you.
Yeah.
And it feels like you're like a cousin or whatever,
Yeah, I
or
know what you
like
mean.
one of my best mates or
Yeah.
something like that. It's such an interesting...
We've got different dads.
clearly.
Long lost cousins.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to go back to the cab driving because
go on.
I want to ask you some of these questions. Have you ever had someone in the back of your car, in the back of your cab rather, that you thought something ain't right? Like as in picked up a serial killer or something like that? Obviously not to that extent, but saying that you thought, hold on a minute.
I picked up an old boy once, and it was around sort of Paddington area. It wasn't a big job at all. And he come to the window, and he was wearing like a Technicolor dream coat, and he was it's always these flamboyant ones. Hi, can you take me to blah blah? And he was boozed,
Yeah.
and you could smell the booze, and you could smell the fag ash. It smelled like an ashtray. It was just like, oh right, yeah. Listen, you're old, you're on your own. Let's take you. And then gets in, and he smelt a piss. He pissed himself, and then he shat himself, and then he went to get out the cab. He's he's got out of the cab, and he's sort of he's sat on the floor, and he shuffled himself to the edge of the door, like on the floor, to get out. He's got to hoik himself up. As he's done that, he smashed his head up on the thing. He's then rolled back, legs akimbo in there. I don't know if he's done it on purpose, but I'm like, I'm turning around as I'm watching him like get out, and people will say, "Oh, you should have got out and helped him." Listen, when I tell you he stunk of piss, in man muck, everything, I don't want to touch people.
Yeah.
So he weren't like your normal sort of granddad on his Sunday afternoon dinner trying to help him out of his chair to go to the toilet. He's on his and on his back, and you could see the spit stains in his arse, his trousers. I'm like, I shouldn't have picked him up.
No.
Shouldn't have picked him up. And I went, "You're all right, sir." Yep. I've done this plenty of times before. And I'm thinking, I bet you have, mate. Anyway, gets out, and he's like, "How much do I owe you?" I went, "No, like I didn't want to touch anything. Here, I'll take some money." "No, it's on me. Please don't." Drops a $5 in the door. It's still there.
Really?
5 years ago. I just blow it.
£1 a year.
Yeah. The Albanians, when they clean the cab, they're like, "Oh, it's still there." I'm like, "Yeah, don't touch it." Fucking yeah.
Oh my god.
Mate.
Have you have you had someone ever confess something that you thought, wow, that's a big confession there? Because like you get like, I don't know, the drunk deers in the back of the car and you're coming along,
I've had quite a few people like you can tell they're having an affair in the back.
really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like they will like you like drop one. Where was it? Up near Highbury. Picked up people off like a work do.
Yeah.
And like one geezer was like, right, can we go to like where the was it? Somewhere in Kent. And then the next drop was to Harrow. I'm like, why don't we go Harrow? Like, because we're sort of London, the Harrow's sort of there, and then to Kent, because I'm like Essex as well, so I'll just go over to Dartford. No, it was that, and they were snogging in the back of the cab, having a bit of a floozy, and bearing this job went quite a lot of money. I went, it's going to be quite a trump here, and they went, it don't matter. They're whispering in the back, and they say, I can't believe we're doing this, blah, blah, blah. Drop off, and we're dropping the woman off, the woman, and the husband's waiting for her at the door.
Oh, no.
And for example, the geezer in the cab, but, all right, John.
No.
Yeah. Oh. I was like, you mate.
Yeah.
Like, and this happens, but it's then dropped him back to Harrow, and he wants to make conversation
because he knows.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Ick.
I'm dropping sort of subtle hints as if to say, like,
You've done that.
Shouldn't be doing that, mate.
Is there a part of you that feels like, oh, he can't snitch, but like giving the geezer a hint, the poor fella at the door?
Yeah, but it's not. But it's not your marriage. Don't get involved.
No. Exactly. I know.
And you are like people talk about like when, like if your mate's doing it, like if you say for example, like he's being a like it's not up to you to go and tell her.
Yeah.
She ain't your pal. He's your mate. You should say, look, I'm going to give you the chance to own up to do what you're doing here. Otherwise, you and I can off.
Yeah.
And then when your wife asks, well, I ain't seen him for a while. Why's that? And then she might contact you and be like, hey, no. Do you know what I mean? It's not up to. We can't control people's relationships, marriages, and whatever. And then he then goes back to his nice big plush house with gated house and like his wife and probably multiple kids in there.
Yeah.
It's awful. It's bad. It's never understood all that.
No.
Yeah.
People do it.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like shit happens. People make mistakes in life, but I just that.
Not fun.
£378, please, mate. Thank you very much. In cash.
In cash.
Yeah.
Wow. What's the biggest celebrity you've had in the car?
I've had a few.
Did they tip?
No. Well, the best tip I had was, and I actually play football with him now. Sometimes Mark Noble.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. What a geezer.
Yeah.
What a bloke, mate. How he'd ever play for England. I mean, you being West Ham and that is criminal. But
mate,
when you see some of the shit that's played for England, like listen, if he was, as we all know, if he was at Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man United, anyone else but West Ham would have played, even one game.
Yeah.
Cockney Polo, mate.
Yeah, and he, what a football player, by the way. You know when people say in the Prem, oh yeah, no, he's too slow, he's retired now, and when you play against him, the brain, playing against people like that, he's like you in awe.
Yeah.
But that'd be it. I won't say too much more about that. But yeah, no, he's it was him. It was like, must have been, I don't know, £8 or £9. Fair gave me a score. I had a picture with him, and then because what I used to do, I used to take pictures with celebrities that were in the cabin. I used to pretend they were someone else. So I put a picture of him up, and I like, I just met Joe Cole. What a great geezer. But I have to do that because then when I had Chris Eubank in the cab. I had a picture of him. I went, I just met Nigel Benn. What a thoroughly nice geezer he is.
Is that junior or senior?
Nah, senior. Yeah, years ago. That was a good few years ago. That when I had Eubank, Noble, Gary Neville.
Oh, wow.
He was a decent tipper in the sense, like just basically said keep the change, and it was like quite a few quid.
Yeah.
I see the John Cleese one.
Oh mate, that's iconic. I had him in like because they pulled me over on near Sloane Square, him and his wife.
Oh yeah.
Because she's waved the cab down and he's crossed the road and he's come to the window. He went, "Oh, young man," and I was like, "Oh mate, this
wow.
what do I do here?" I'm like, I wanted to get in the back. I want to tell her to drive. And then we're talking, and like, you know, when you hear someone's distinct voice and all you can, like Life of Brian, 40 Towers, just everything, it's just, honestly, it's just it's brilliant. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. And I was like, I've got to have a picture of you because like you could be dead in 6 months.
Yeah.
No offense, John. Sir John. It should be Sir John. But yeah.
It must be someone you aspire to, though, like someone like John.
Yeah, but those people, in my opinion, they're elite they're elite people,
Yeah.
and I don't want to just play myself down because you got to dream big and whatever. But that he's an icon.
He looked massive.
I mate, so I'm 6'2",
Yeah.
and I think 6'4", maybe 6'5".
Yeah.
Long, lanky streak of piss. Yeah,
We're all quite tall in here, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
He was
But
tall.
when
If
I was
he's
looking
taller
at
than
the
you.
picture, he was tall.
Yeah.
I was looking at the picture on Instagram.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was tall.
yeah, massive.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about, like, you know, that's a legendary comedian. Like, doing your circuit and doing your shows, like, who do you see you personally as the next sort of big thing in comedy? Anyone that sort of tickles your fancy, so to speak?
Who do I like?
Who do you like and who do you see going there? You know, you personally. That you personally have worked with or know?
I mean, there are a few. I can't really single too many people out, and I go back to talking about Josh, like, because he's my pal.
Yeah.
I want him, like, he's under the same artist management as like Mo Gilligan.
Yeah.
You know, so he's got the correct people around him that push him in the right directions and get the right gigs and all that stuff. And he's actually doing his tour. I'll speak to him about coming on here. Hopefully he can come on here.
Oh, do you know what? I asked him. He's one of the. It's because he's on Church Boy, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I asked him, and it was like we didn't. Obviously, we had no one saw what we were doing.
Yeah.
No one.
Listen, I'll big you up and I'll say it's worth it. So,
thanks,
but
mate.
if you don't, at least that's him saying "f off."
No, do you know what? He was very polite about it.
But
He
he's
said,
Tottenham.
He's
He's Tottenham.
Oh, we're going to have trouble in here.
However, he is a very busy boy.
Yeah.
He's got his tour this year that he's doing. So yeah, Josh, a woman comedian. I don't know if you'd had to say woman or man comedian or whatever, but they're all comedians. Laura Smith.
Yeah.
Okay.
What a funny woman. East End bird.
See, he don't find women funny.
It's not like I don't find women funny. It's
think they're
like,
hilarious.
I find women funny that like are from my way, if you know.
But it's
what
the
I mean.
thing. Again, it's you're associating yourself with certain situations, so it's all like demographics and things like that. So because she's from the East End,
Yeah.
you'll understand her patter. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, and you'll get it. So the things that she says, things of when you were growing up and whatever, you'll understand and you'll get it, and you will.
Thanks for throwing me under the bus.
Sorry,
there.
mate, sorry.
Oh, he's not listening.
Laura's not going to do it, but yeah. No, but listen, I know what you
Should we
mean.
having you laughing in here? I
Oh,
bet?
mate, yeah.
Oh, mate, don't get Alan Brazil on or Shabana Hearn. Jesus Christ, talk about women's football.
You know, I know, oh, yeah. That's the thing, isn't it? I mean, you quite enjoy women's
I love
football,
women's
innit?
football. It's not for that reason.
Their shorts are a bit shorter though, aren't they, up there?
Yeah, the Villa girl, isn't it?
Yeah. What, Lehman? No. Plays for Juve now, but listen,
yeah.
that's just me.
Funny people in general, like, especially on socials and things like that. He sort of set us off in a way. So big shout out to Big John. Right? Oh, mate.
Mental, yeah.
Absolute cracks me up, that fella. Like, we had a video of Kevin Mitchell talking about, you know, Big John and Johnny Fisher, like a really lovely story.
Yeah.
And Big John just straight away was the first person. Like, we're still no one. You know, we're still nothing.
Big John, people hate him and not knowing him just because he's a fat geezer that eats shit and he's bouncing off of his son being a professional boxer, in the sense of he don't give a people that genuinely know him like I do, he couldn't do more for you.
Yeah.
Couldn't do more for you. Like, I had a couple of years ago, so every sort of birthday I have, it always falls on like the first weekend of the Premier League season, so in August, and invited them round, and they'd just come back from holiday, and John brought round like 3 full boxes of beer.
Yeah.
Wow. Bang, here's for the lads. Can't come, but here. Just went out of his way and come and dropped it off.
Quality.
Honestly, we'll always invite you around his house, like Christmas time, having a big gathering, like end of the year's party for all the, like, his sponsors for like Johnny and all that. And because he's normal in the sense of, like, people say, oh, that's not normal, but he's one of your own. Like, John, you're out for a bit of food. Yeah, let's go, let's have it. Like, he's just such a nice geezer, and that's why universities get in touch with him and say, can you come and do like a bit of a night at Nottingham University and throw a few prawn crackers in the crowd and all that, and you got all the uni bods going bosh because it draws attention. He then goes out to like Australia, goes to the England rugby. He's just a really, really nice geezer. So Go on.
So he's a bit of a generational hero.
Yeah.
In a way. Like, sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's
Carry
right.
on.
No, but he'll say, and I've spoke to him before, like in quite in-depth conversations about stuff, and it's like, and he knows, look, Al, this ain't going to last forever. But yeah, again, during the times of like lockdown and stuff, a lot of people lost a lot of
Yeah.
So like, hopefully, yeah, again, I'll big him up to say, look, fucking John, go and have a little chat with these geezers. He'll do it 100%.
Wow.
The only reason why he wouldn't do it is because he's got other things going on, but he's always willing to go above and beyond and try and help his own out, the working class, the people that ain't got much going on in like the mainstream stuff, and like everyone wants to help everyone. And he would say, look, might have lost my house like during that time.
Yeah.
Like in your business and all that. Not a lot of people fully understand that. Is like, for a lot of people, like the working class, in the sense of the self-employed, lost quite a lot. So if people want to pay him to go and do X, Y, and Z, go and milk it as much as you can.
Yeah.
And you get people like, I get knobheads on social media who say, "Oh, you just a Mickey Flanagan." Cool.
Yeah.
Like all this name calling stuff. Oh, you just a fatted ginger pig. And what else?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Like I've like so. People get bent out of shape about like the name calling and the spitefulness. Oh, it's not nice, it's mean. And what? It doesn't change what you're doing in life. I'm still going to work, still earning me money. That's their life. That's what they want to do. Like, don't try not to, it's easier said than done, because some people aren't as strong to deal with that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like the name calling and stuff. But there are other people that are.
You get wound up, don't you, with the comments that have come in so far?
I'll just block them.
Yeah, it's funny, like, because I don't really care. Like I've sort of like I've come from a family where it's like
What's on this?
Yeah, just not like hardly anything at the moment. But when I'm telling a like story, or we're telling an anecdote or something, and we just decide to edit it and put it out, it's like
Yeah.
bullshit.
I just block them. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear it.
Good pal of mine, he said, like, I will, like in the early days, when you get constant anyway, like a few smarmy comments, I'll sort of screenshot it, send it to him. He goes, "Al, block, delete."
Yeah.
Makes no odds. I would say one thing though. I had a geezer down in Portsmouth for about a year. He used to batter me on Facebook. Like, would be quite a nasty fucking piece of work.
Right.
Bit of a. He looked like he had a marble, like crushed marble for teeth. And he would say some like really sort of nasty stuff. So I would screenshot every single one. And then I'd done a video, and he would always sort of comment, "Oh yeah, you mug," or just anything. And I'm like, and I know I'm talking about sort of name calling, not bothering you, because I weren't biting. And then he said something about me missus.
Wow.
I was like, well, okay, that's cool. So I went in the archives, got every single screenshot that I ever took of him throughout the year of what he said, put it on me Instagram, and put his face on it. Put a little caption. This is what this geezer said, like during the last the last year or so, and all the slides, bang, 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 mate. Within 20 minutes, I had people in the comments. Must have had about 200-300 comments. News articles of this geezer that has got a restraining order at his kid's school.
Wow.
For like a GBH or ABH or something like that. He then messaged me private, apologising. "I'm really sorry. I didn't realise it was just a joke what you were doing." He thought I was being like it's a character. It's an over exaggeration of a cab driver being a moany miserable having a point of view. Like, it's not me. It's not really me. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can have a normal conversation. And he was like, "I didn't realise it was just an act. It's quite funny. Could you take that post down, because my 2 daughters have been bullied in school and been sent home from school because of that." And I went, "Listen here." I went, the reason why your daughters, unfortunately, are getting that sort of response is because of their father's actions. I said, clearly you're not taking into consideration here or understanding the extremities of what you've just said.
Yeah.
But you don't care.
No.
And I said, I'll take it down just because it's your kids. Like, I'm not an animal.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want nothing to happen to your children. I went, by the way, next year I will be coming to Portsmouth to do a show, so you can come down. Tickets are on me, and you can tell me to my face what you actually think of me.
Yeah.
Got nothing back.
Really? And do you know what? Another thing as well. He says, like, he didn't know it was an exaggerated thing. If you don't know it's an exaggerated
You're
thing,
not all there.
You're not all there.
Nah. But you're either not all there or you're lying.
Yeah, definitely.
He's lying.
Yeah, of course he is. He's been put on him, and he's probably had his ex-missus ring him up saying, what are you doing on social media? The kids are getting bullied, blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? So that's probably what it is.
Yeah.
Mug.
Yeah, 100%. Going back on the Big John,
Yes.
I just wanted to know, what is a Big John party like?
Food and booze.
Yeah.
Just music, yeah.
Yeah.
There's pucker.
It's a good vibe.
Yeah, it's just everything. He bounces around, not because he's big, but just bounces around, and then he'll order 600 burgers for everyone out of McDonald's.
Yeah.
See him pick that Christmas tree out.
Oh yeah, don't.
Yeah,
Absolutely. No, he can't do enough. If you're in his circle, he can't do enough for you.
Really?
In my opinion, yeah. But he's another one. He's like he goes on the socials and he gets abuse and he posts it up.
Yeah.
If you see, like someone will say, "Oh, look at you, you're a heart attack away from dying," and he'll write something sarcastically. And I want to say to John, don't even give him the time, John.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? All right, there's me saying I posted up the geezer, but that's over a year. Whereas John will be like, every negative comment that he gets, he'll post up. But then again, I back him up in the sense of like people need to be called out.
Yeah.
People need to be called out and be fucking, and then let other people that love you go and fight your war for you.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, who are you, you mug? Like you're just having a good time, and then you just let other people just fight your battles. That sounds really, really mingy, but it just is the way it is, I think.
So your nights at Backyard Comedy.
Yep.
So how did it all fall into place for you? I know you was talking about it a little bit at the start and all that, but to have your own night there, you know, is that a recurring thing now at Backyard Comedy? Like
I do 4 a year.
4 a year?
Yeah.
Okay, wicked.
So every quarter, I tend to like throw a night on.
Are you on the hunt for new blood, so to speak, when you do these shows?
What new
comedians?
Acts? Yeah. I try to. I mean, I've got people that have done. I think I've done 12 shows now. I think 12 or 13 shows, and I've had people that have been on 5 times, 4 times, multiple times. I've had people that have only just done it once. But yeah, sort of whatever fits the bill, and then I'll message people and be like, look, do you fancy it? You've been put forward to me by so and so. They worked with you at another show. Do you fancy it? And I like to think that these comedians, like these acts, are getting good feedback from my nights.
Yeah,
because people will look at me and be like, I bet his crowd's nuts. That's mental. And they are. My night, honestly, my next show is March the 2nd.
Right.
And I sold some more tickets late, so I've got another 25, 30 tickets left, and it's 300 gone.
Right, we'll go.
When's the baby born?
Oh, mate, 17th.
There you go. It could be your sort of wet the baby's head sort of thing, early doors.
Do you know what? I've got
last day out.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm up for it.
Yeah.
Definitely up for it.
Tickets. Those tickets are on me. That's
Don't
cool.
be silly.
No,
Don't be silly.
they're £40 a ticket, but their tickets are on me. But no, they're not. Yeah, so it's 2nd of March. They're always on a Sunday.
Okay.
Wicked.
But this one is in the afternoon. Normally I have them at night, but this one's at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And I've got to give a shout out. Have you heard of Chicken George?
Yeah.
Chicken George, elite, mate. When you go to like wing competitions and stuff like that, these are the kings. Yeah. Chris at Chicken George, mate, honestly. They're out in Bedford and they're out in Hitchin. So they're definitely worth the trip.
Okay.
100%. Best fried chicken this side of America. Outside of America.
I'm there. I love fried chicken.
So yeah, they sponsor my comedy night, so they come and put the food on before the show. So from 2 till about 3:15, 3 o'clock, they'll be there serving out some food for the people that are going to the shows.
If my missus ain't dropped,
even if she has, she ain't going to want you to be around her.
To the baby's first comedy.
Her guts are going to be on the floor. She's going to be blaming you. Just get her old woman round here.
Yeah.